Okay, so I decided to work a few more planks into play here. So just bear with me here as I try to put these first three pieces in, and to get them so that they dry in the exact contour that I need them to be, so that we can start getting the hole in place properly. So you're watching me as I do this very interesting and not so intricate pattern to try and get this done properly, okay? So this is actually going to be a lot of fun here. And as you can see at the back, the contours that it makes along the back. All right, and then we're gonna pinch these together, properly, and up against the hole. And as you can see, it's trying not to bend the way I need it to bend, but that's when the other rubber bands and the other planks come into play. And so we're just gonna give this a little bit of a tweak here. Just to make sure she stays pretty tight. I'm working on it. So just bear with me here. And see, she's almost right in place there. All right, so now with that, we get a couple of these to pinch them all together. So we'll keep them pinched up one next to the other. And actually, I think I'm going to use these clamps to keep them like that. And then I'm going to use these guys to keep them together like that. So you can see that they're tight this way and they're tight this way. And everybody, I'm going to show you the progress that I've made so far. You can see how the hole looks absolutely beautiful, smooth to the touch. Not quite baby butt smooth, but smooth. As you can see, sometimes the planks are still giving me a little bit of trouble. This particular section, this last plank, was part of 3 that I soaked for a day and a half and then left in place. You saw it standing upside down, rather on the bow. I left it in place for like 2 days to make sure that it was formed properly. And of course, I still end up breaking a huge piece of it off. This is actually part of the piece that I actually had to cut in order to get out what I needed to get out. Now, as you can see, on the end there, it's a little short. And hold on, let me get it right. If you look, this fits right in this little gap right up against the plank. But as you can see, I cut it a little. When I trimmed it and sanded it and everything, I came up about 1/8 of an inch short on this end. Okay, hold on. This is going to be a little tricky for me to get in. There we go. So you can see, if I get up real close, you can see it's a little bit short on reaching the keelson on that side. So I either glue it directly to it and then had to fill up a hole on the end, or I glue it right up against the keel son, and then all I have to do is just fill up the back. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna glue it to 2 parts in the hull, and then fill up the gap between this plank and that plank, and then smooth it down. So at least this part of the old piece will act as a frame for the putty to fill in on, as opposed to having a big hole. Now I'm gonna change, press the right button, of course. I'm gonna change this out for this, so I can countersink the threads, so that when I hammer the nails in, the head will be flush against the wood. I didn't do that last time, but you'll see what it looks like when I'm done. So, just enough to get me started. Yeah. We put the nail in place. Put the nail in place. Put a nail in place. We put a nail in place. And we put a nail in place. Uh-oh. Did I line this up wrong? I think I might have lined this last one up a little bit wrong here. Okay, I'll have to redo the first one. All right, let's see how this goes. And it's almost flush. Yes. Now that's flush. Okay. Now, as you can see, I put a few nails at the end of the bulkheads where things are making the most change, and then I alternated on each other bulkhead just so that I can get these in, get them glued, get them secured, so I can work on them. So this is what it's going to look like. These clamps actually work better. These can only go so far, and as you can see, sometimes these guys need a little work, so we work with what we got. And right now, we got these guys. So, first off, my nails can stay right there because I'll need more of them, along with my planks. Put these guys aside. Pull these guys out of the way. We're going to move the dust out of the way. All right. And now time for my dry dock. And my dry dock is going to look like this. Boom. Boom. Gonna put the blocks in the middle. Move that out the way. Gonna line this up and sit that right in the groove there. And I know the clamps are gonna give it a little bit of a problem. All right, so I know the clamps are going to give it a little bit of a problem, but we're going to try and work it out. And there you go. few things here. All right, so we got everything lined up here correctly. And I numbered the ends to make sure everything looks good. So far, everything looks fairly decent. We're out to number 8. So right now I'm going to take all of these off so that I can pull the rest of these out. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on these guys here. All right, and get them ready to go up on the bow the way these guys are. So that's where we're going to start. So just work with me here as I try to get these done. As you have. Welcome to everybody overseas. I'm glad to see that you're checking in and you like what you see. For everyone else, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. I wanted to put this clip together for you at the end of the hull section that I'm doing because this is probably the most intensive part that I've been working on since. I think for sure I have over 20 hours worth of work that I could make a short 15-minute video out of. And I thought it would be better if I just explained it this way. So you'll see here that on the print, even they didn't even think to draw out all the lines because of how intense this is. But after, looking at this and putting in the first floor planks, I decided to keep using them in groups of 4. They were easy to mold in place with the various clamps and rubber bands that I was using to try and get this to work. So hopefully from what I showed you with this part 1 series, you'll be able to navigate how to do the plank to complete the hull. For the contours on the bow and again at the stern, I had to be creative by using not only just the rubber bands, but I had to use the clamps at 90-degree angles so that I would get the actual twists and bends without having to cut the planks and reshape them or whatever. So all of the planks, I'd say 99% of them, maybe 30 out of 32 or maybe 28 out of 32 planks are solid planks. A couple of them I did break and they were already in place, or I didn't have one at the time already set. So yeah, you'll see me filling up gaps with putty and sanding. I used chisels, wood chisels to do some of my work. And I even used, some of the planks that I used for the deck, I also used to fill up the hole. I'll show you an example of how I did that in part 2. But I wanted to make you aware that, there are so many parts to this that easily I could get lost. But I decided to explain this in a short video, hoping that you would get an understanding of what I was working with here. Now, with, the top blanks, you'll see that the same blanks go across the side here where the gunnel is. This part here is the deck. You'll see runoff spots, which I'll explain in the second part, and then you'll see the gun ports. You'll see me put those together too. I have a feeling that you'll like, the end result. But like I said, because of so many videos that I made, I figure this is the way to do it. All right, so I'll show you the initial build process, which you saw in the earlier videos, and then on the back end you'll see the finished hull, and maybe a couple of more videos with how I shaped the planks to go in the rather odd shaped parts. Like I said, I tried to keep the planks as solid and as long as possible. to kind of simulate how a real ship was put together, even though I know a real ship was put together in sections. I hope you like the end result. See ya.